Alrighty, so we have a fun one here. So it's Sergey Morozov versus Khalid Taha. Alright, so Khalid Taha, he's a powerhouse. You know, he likes to come forward, likes to really, put everything behind his punches and just try and knock you out, basically. And Sergey Morozov, he does stand very tall. You know, when he does get hit, he gets hit clean. So it's definitely live for Khalid Taha to KO him here. But Sergey, he can get a little wild on the feet as well. He does overswing quite a bit, especially on the overhand right, overhand right. A lot of his offense is coming from that right hand. He likes the counter two, he likes the overhand right. But he will go for a switch body kick as well, quite nice. But his lead hand does drop when he is throwing any strike. So even if he throws the right hand, his lead hand's dropping. And that could open up the power hand of Khalid Taha. He has a nice straight right, nice overhand right. If he times that, could potentially be lights out for Sergey. Khalid Taha, he also has a very nice lead left hook. He will chain that together with two at the end, or he'll, finish a combination with the left hook. And I think the left hook is his best punch and where he generates the most power. That's where he's got most of his knockdowns in the UFC. But yeah, he does put a lot into his strikes, and he does telegraph basically all of his, boxing strikes. So, he lets you know when he's about to throw, but also he just telegraphs his leg kicks or his kicks just egregiously. Like he doesn't, he lets you know when he's about to kick you. Break down the grappling of these two. So for Morozov, he has a nice wrestling ride, and then he'll look to chain that to a double leg on the fence if if the opponent turns into it, or he'll just go for a single leg, try and, take you down from there. And Khalid Taha, he will try and punish you for stalling on takedown attempts. We saw that in the Bruno Silva fight, where he was really trying to land hard elbows, hard knees on Bruno Silva, when Bruno Silva was kind of stalling on the takedown attempt. So, you got to be mindful, because he is trying to land damage in the clinch there. But, he can be a little offensively minded, a little too offensively minded, I should say, in the clinch, when he really should be, working for underhooks and trying to stuff the head and stuff like that. Just more technique when defending takedowns. How these guys win fights. So for Morozov, he's well-rounded, he has good takedown defense, and he has good scrambles as well. We saw those on display in the Umar Nurmagomedov fight. And for Khalid Taha, he's got significant power in both hands, especially left hook, as we talked about before, and he has a good chin. He took a barrage from Hayoni Barcelov, and we know the power that guy's got. He's a powerful dude, and he took all the punishment from Barcelos. How these guys lose fights. So I get a sense that Morozov is a little bit chinny. I think he's been knocked out a few times in his career, but I get the sense that he isn't able to take a shot as well as, definitely not as well as Taha, but not as well as the average bantamweight. For Taha, it's the takedown defense. I think it's below average. Also, I don't think his get-up game is very good. He kind of relies on brute strength, but nothing else really. There's not too much technique to his get-ups. Past to victory for these two. So for Khalid Taha, look to, forward pressure, but don't get too over-aggressive and just go crazy, because he will look to level change, get on the hips from there, and then work his takedowns. And for Morozov, I think, look to take him down and look to control him. But if you can't take him down, just look to grab the body lock, mat returns, just kind of rinse and repeat from there, and just look to bully him from the body lock position. And for Khalid Taha, low calf kicks, but don't throw them super often and get too predictable with them, because he will look to level change over the top of that. But I think it could be a good weapon here. I don't think Morozov checks leg kicks too often. But yeah, it could be a good weapon here. Also look for the right hand when he drops his lead hand. Yeah, we talked about that tendency before. How I see the fight playing out. So I think Taha likely wins if it stays on the feet. He's more powerful, has a greater ability to take punches, but he also just has the cleaner hands. I think there's a good chance that he does catch Morozov lacking on the feet and does put him out. I think Morozov could make it competitive on the feet, but I see Taha just kind of running away with it if it stays standing. But, Taha's powerhouse style, it can have him telegraphing punches quite often, because he does load up on his strikes quite a bit, which kind of opens up the wrestling game for Morozov, where I believe the path of least resistance is for Sergey. And I think Taha is going to be the stronger of the two, physically, but his technique when defending takedowns and getting up from bottom just isn't there. I can just absolutely see Morozov kind of grinding Taha down with his wrestling and just winning on top control time. So that's kind of how I think the fight's going to go, and let's have a look at the betting lines. Alright, so if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome, really helps out a lot. Alright, so prediction is Morozov by decision. I think the line should be basically flipped, not flipped, you know, a complete 180, but I think Morozov should be the favorite. I think he should be around $1.70. I'm looking to bet Morozov at $1.85 or minus 120, so I think, yeah, I'm going to get that price. Seems like Taha's getting bet down, so I might just wait until, you know, I can see the limit of what Morozov's money line is going to be. But also another bet I was looking at was Taha inside the distance at maybe $5.20 or plus 420, but, you know, it doesn't look like I'm going to get that. You know, Morozov has been finishing 80% of his losses, and Taha has finished 85% of his wins. So I think if Taha's going to win, it's likely going to be inside the distance. And if you like Taha, then maybe if you favor him a bit more than I do, then maybe you can, you know, include that inside the distance line as well as, you know, bet in the money line as well if you do like him at that price.